Hi, sixth graders. This lab that you're going to be doing today is called the density lab. So I just clicked on this right from the agenda. Where is it? Here we go. Oops, that's right here. I'll click on it from the agenda on Wednesday, and that will bring you into this assignment. Okay. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a simulation. And what it is it's simulating the same lab or similar to the lab that we are doing in class. Okay. So what you'll do first is you'll open the simulation, and I'm realizing these words need to be bigger on here. Okay. Then you're also going to open your My document, which will be up here. So you'll have two documents open. All right. So I have, this is my answer sheet, and then here is my lab. Okay. So step one says go to the site, which we already did. I'm going to view the screencast of directions. That's the screencast that you are watching right now. And then click on the top where it says turn fluid into water. Make sure that it stays on that setting for the entire lab. You'll notice the fluid density is changed to 1 gram per centimeter cube. So that's right up here at the top. I'm going to click on turn fluid into water. And right here, I can see, hopefully you guys can see where I'm pointing here. Right here, I can see how it turned into the density of 1 gram per milliliter or centimeter cubed, okay? So what we're going to do then is we are going to be testing all of these different objects, and we're going to be finding the density of those objects. All right, so what we are going to be doing is I'm going to go back to this worksheet, and we're going to be looking at each of the different items, and we're going to be looking at, first we're going to make a prediction if we think it will sink or float. Then we're going to find the mass, volume, initial volume, final volume, volume of the object, and the density. So I'm going to go through how to find each of those. Later on, as you're working, if you scroll down to the bottom of this page, it kind of explains to you what to do on each one. Okay, so for the first one, what I want you to do in the red column is you are just going to predict. So what you already might know about that particular item, do you think it will sink or float? Doesn't matter if you're wrong or not, okay? So that one's pretty simple, and you can go ahead and do all of those right now. This question mark one, you're not really going to be able to fill in because you don't know what it is, all right? So for the mass, I'm going to show you on the demo kind of with this first one so that you can see what to do. So let's say that I'm going to fill in for my gold. I'm going to predict that it's going to sink because gold seems pretty heavy, all right? Now for mass, I am going to first, I'm going to click on gold right here, okay? And it automatically drops it into the water, and then I need to take it out. And you just click on it and drag it out. And I'm going to put it on the scale right here to find the mass. Well, the mass of the gold is 40.53 grams. So I'd write that in here. And we don't need to include the units because those units are in our heading, okay? Now I'm going to find the volume, and so to do that, first I'm going to write the initial volume. So what we're going to be using is water displacement to find the volume of these objects. So first I'm going to look at the initial volume of the water. So what that is the volume of the water in the beaker when there is nothing in it. And right now there's nothing in it, so the volume is 25.5 milliliters. So I'll write that in there. And again, the units are already at the top. For the final volume, now I'm going to put my object inside of the beaker and see what the volume goes up to. So I'm going to take my gold and put it back in there. Well, now it's a 27.6 milliliters. So I'll put that in here. So to find the volume of the object, I just subtract that. I find the difference. So I do 27.6 minus 25.5, and I would get 2.1 milliliters or centimeters cubed. Now, whoops, sorry, wrong thing. Now I have to calculate the density, okay? Now to calculate density, we know that we just do mass divided by volume, okay? So I would take my calculator and, sorry, getting my calculator out. So I'm going to take the mass right here, which is 40.53, and I'm going to divide that by the volume of my object, so the blue column. And my density would be 19.3 grams per milliliter. Now, I predicted that it would sink, right? because I know that gold is heavy. And now when I look at my density, I know that, yeah, it will sink because it has a density of greater than 1. Remember, the density of water is 1, okay? So anything heavier than that will sink, and anything with a greater density than that will sink, and less density than that will float. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you are going to do the rest of these and find the different objects, and fill in that chart, okay? You can just take the object out and then put in a new one when you're ready, or click on a new one when you're ready, okay? Oh, maybe you can't. I think you actually have to hit reset, okay? But then when you hit reset, you have to click turn fluid into water again, okay? Then you can pick your object. I feel like you can change these objects whenever you want, but okay, you might, if you hit reset, you have to click turn fluid back into water, okay? And fill in the sheet, and then there's a question to answer right there. All right, so that is what you are doing for this lab. Let me know if you have any questions.